Good morning, beautiful. Grand Rising Queen. What you doing? Can you send me a pic? Chances are, if you are a woman who, within the past decade has been on a dating app, these words probably send shivers down your spine and not in a good way. Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones. I'm a licensed therapist. One of the things that a lot of modern day women are getting tired of is the modern day monotony bullshit script that a lot of men are following when it comes to dating apps or meeting or texting just in general. What a lot of women have been clued into is, usually the reign of terror or disrespect that comes after, meeting a man who says that they're interested in dating, but they end up sending these generic texts, which usually signifies, hey, I'm talking to a billion different women. I'm not going to use your name, but I'm going to use these, short and dirty texts to communicate with you as I go through my phone and I'm communicating with every single woman that I've met over the past week. This also signifies, hey, don't look for me to put in any effort. Don't look for anything to be special between us because I'm doing the bare minimum and I'm wanting to see which woman, as I go through my phone log, which woman is going to fall for it and put in more work than me. And perhaps we can hook up a little later. Perhaps I can come stay with you or get all my needs met, but don't look for anything serious in terms of a relationship and or dating. This is part of the ever-growing frustration of the dating apps of the modern day woman, in which women feel like super frustrated that, hey, I'm putting in all this effort. I'm saying that I want long-term commitment, but I'm getting these guys and they all say the same thing. They're all reading from the same playbook. And the reason why is because they feel like they have a buffet of choices. They literally may feel like women are on a buffet line waiting to be plucked. And so when men feel like they have a variety to select from, and again, these are general statements. If it doesn't apply to you, please let it fly, you know. But generally, when they feel like there's so many pickings to pick from, I don't have to be respectful. I don't have to necessarily be serious in my attempts to pursue you. I could literally pick any one of you at my fingertips, for whatever I choose to pick you for. And if you don't work out, then surely someone else will come along. And that is part of the frustration with dating nowadays as well, is that we now have third party interferences where people feel like they have a plethora of choices, and they also become very egotistical about having their choice to pick and choose, right? So now social media and dating apps are acting as like third parties to any sort of dating and romantic relationship, therefore giving a false sense of ego boost. In addition, people who aren't happy in their relationships at home, in their marriages even, can pick an identity. They can choose and create an identity and, become whoever they want to be on the dating apps and create this whole facade of a character. There was a woman I saw, um, you know, not that long ago. It's maybe been about a year or so, but she talked about how she had met someone on the dating apps and had been going over to his place, and they had been dating, I think she said, for like 1 to 2 years, and come to find out that wasn't even his name. And where he was taking her to wasn't even where he stayed. It was like an Airbnb that he rented out. He was married and had a whole other life, she found out. I don't remember who the poster was, but she talked about being really just sort of bamboozled and caught off guard one day when that person's wife, I think, had contacted her. And so people are just, they're really not giving much, but they're doing the bare minimum, and they're hiding behind texts and, you know, dating apps and sending messages back and forth. Doing all of that is really not a relationship make. So just something to remember to help you guys be safe, be informed, and not to mention, I think the other thing that is commonly happening on dating apps is catfishing. A lot of people hide behind texting and going back and forth, and sending those messages because they aren't who they portray themselves to be. Either they've stolen someone else's photos, or their photos are literally from like 20, 30, 40 years ago, and they look like a completely different person. And then, you happen to get together for a date, and you guys show up, and you're wondering, who are you? Who is this? You're not the person I've been talking to. Like, I have been hoodwinked for sure. And so that's also another common little fiasco that's been happening on the dating app. So this is your gentle reminder to remain safe. And go. I think some of the more old school ways of dating. If you're into dating, because I know there's a lot of people. I don't want to date. I'm never doing that. This is not for you. You could feel free to skip or go to another creator. I'm talking about people who actually want to date. So if you want to date, I think some of the more old school ways are underutilized, which would be referral from friends that know, like, and love you, and want to see you link up with someone, and so they'll go out of their way to find someone with good character and good background, to introduce you to, but also going out and meeting people in person, because it's I won't say people can't hide when you meet them in person, because people can, if they're dedicated to it enough, they can certainly do all these things. But again, you may have more luck than someone who's hiding behind a computer screen or a phone keyboard. So I hope that helps. And, have you been hoodwinked? Do these phrases, good morning, beautiful, what you doing, WYD, WYA, where you at, Grand Rising, do these phrases like bring up anything for you? Let me know in the comments. Thanks so much. Hope that helped.